Thank you for joining us today. In this video, we'll walk through how to correctly set up Medicare as a secondary insurance for a patient. While Medicare is most commonly listed as a patient's primary insurance, there are certain situations where Medicare acts as the secondary payer. When this occurs, both the primary and secondary insurance setups require a slightly different configuration to ensure claims are billed correctly. When Medicare is the patient's secondary insurance, you will also need to select the appropriate Medicare Secondary Payer, or MSP code. This code informs Medicare why it is acting as the patient's secondary insurance rather than the primary payer. We'll now walk through the necessary steps to configure these settings in a patient profile. Let's start by navigating to the patient's profile and accessing their Insurance tab. On the Primary Insurance tab, we will enter the primary insurance information. Normally, most commercial insurance companies only require Box 14 to be populated with Qualifier 431. However, when billing Medicare insurance, Medicare also requires Box 15 to be completed, using Qualifier 454. Since this information pulls from the patient's primary insurance setup, there may be situations where the primary insurance either does not require Box 15 or requires different information. In those cases, you can manually update these boxes on the HCFA claim from the Print Send Claims page before submitting the claim to Medicare. Next, we will navigate to the Secondary Insurance tab. Here we will select Medicare as the insurance company. Once the insurance company is selected, we will then have the option to select the appropriate MSP code from the drop-down menu. What prompts the system to show the MSP code is the insurance type. When the insurance type is selected as MB, this triggers the system to populate the MSP code dropdown. The rest of the information should be filled out as per your normal protocol. Finally, we will go to the Cases tab and attach both the primary and secondary to the case and save. There may be situations where certain modifiers are not billed to the patient's primary insurance, but are required for Medicare billing on the secondary claim. In these cases, when closing the primary EOB payment and creating the secondary claim to Medicare, you will want to make note of any patients who have Medicare as their secondary insurance. When the prompt appears asking, "Do you want to mark secondary claims as filed?" you should select Confirm. Selecting Confirm allows you to access the patient's account afterward and place the claim into refile status so you can make any necessary edits to the CPT codes or add required Medicare modifiers before submitting the secondary claim. If you instead click Cancel, the secondary claim to Medicare will still be created automatically, but you will not have the opportunity to make edits to the claim before submission. Thank you for watching our tutorial on billing Medicare secondary insurance.